Hello everyone, welcome to a very different type of video than what I've ever done before, but I wanted to put on hopefully this short video just to make, I guess, a couple of announcements. So the first announcement being that we are actually changing the name of our channel. It's always been Becky Burton, which is obviously my name. We're changing it because I wanted to be more inclusive of our family. So most of my travels are obviously with my husband Travis and now our daughter Teddy. So we are going to change the name of our channel to Roots and Wings Travel. So welcome to the first video as Roots and Wings Travel. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. And the next announcement, just wait. The next announcement is that we're going to Walt Disney World. I'm so excited. Okay, so again, this video is going to be quite different than anything I've done on my channel. So if you're new to the channel and you're here for the Disney content, thank you, and we are about to get started. If you're like a family or friends or a previous follower, this is pretty niche, so either bear with me or maybe share this video with someone that you think might enjoy it. I'm just going to quickly go through the planning process that I went through in planning this pretty last minute trip, and I think it will be really helpful for anyone who's dreaming of Disney World and planning a trip. So let's get started. So what in the world, Becky, where did this Walt Disney World trip come from? Well, in February I was actually loosely planned a trip to go to Maui to be with my mom while she was there, but that fell through, so I canceled that flight, which all went into WestJet dollars, which would have been fine. They could have stayed there. But I also had a WestJet companion voucher, and that was expiring in mid-February. And also Travis had some WestJet rewards, I think they were called. We had to use up these dollars. They were expiring, so we planned a trip to Walt Disney World. More specifically, the reason I picked there was because WestJet, I'm not sure how recently, but they have reinstated their direct flights from Saskatoon, which is our nearest airport. So to be able to fly somewhere direct from Saskatoon is it's pretty difficult. So that was a really big factor initially in this trip. Also, Disney World has some special offers right now for rooms and for room and ticket bundles. There's up to 25% off rooms at depending on which resort, and then there is save up to $400 on room and ticket combos. So that is our why, other than, of course, I love Disney, and I just feel like this is a really good time for us to go to Walt Disney World. This will probably be our last free flight with Teddy. She's going to be 2 in September. She's free to go into Disney World. 3 and under don't pay for tickets. So this is a really good chance for us to go on the big Walt Disney trip. Obviously take her with us, and I know she's going to have an amazing time. We're going to have an amazing time, so we're really excited, and let's get into some more of the planning details. Okay, so I'm going to try and whiz through this pretty quickly because I do want this to be a shorter video, not too lengthy, and if you have any questions, please comment them down below. I really would love to help you so much with your Walt Disney World trip. So I was looking at this trip at the very beginning of February when I realized that the sale was on, there was the direct flights. And so I started looking up crowd calendars because I know March and April are really busy for spring break. I love looking at crowd calendars. You can just type it into Google. I like the one from the Undercover Tourist. So I just started comparing when we could fly and when was a low crowd time, as well as obviously the resorts. So I did everything through the Walt Disney World website. I did it all myself, obviously. I didn't use an agent or anything because I just love doing that kind of thing so much myself. So I had to book a split stay because I really wanted to stay at Pop Century because it's on the Skyliner. They only had 3 of our nights available that I wanted to go. So I booked a ticket and room package. So I did 3 nights, different resort, with the 6-day park hopper ticket. And for that one, I think we did the save up to $400 on that. And then I had to go, you have to do that whole process and then pay and then go back in and then book 3 extra nights at the Pop Century. And that one they applied the like up to 25%. So I think the Pop Century was like maybe 15% off. So originally with the tickets, I booked the Value Resort All-Star movies, which I was really excited to go to because I do love the theming at those resorts, even though like some people would say they're tacky, but like to me they're so exciting. Like they have characters from movies, like there's a gigantic Dalmatian from 101 Dalmatians. Anyways, it is like the valuest of the value resorts, and I wasn't sure that Travis would be super thrilled if we had like a smaller room. And anyways, I think it's a great resort, but I found later on after booking for not too much more money, I found a moderate resort. It was Port Orleans French Quarter. So we upgraded from All-Star movies for the first 3 nights to the Port Orleans French Quarter for 3 nights. So, and then we'll move over for 3 more nights at Pop Century and have that Skyliner access, which I'm so excited for. I would have booked just 6 nights at Pop, but it wasn't available, and I kind of like the idea of a split stay because it just gives you a little bit more of that Disney World experience with staying in another resort. I did stay at Pop Century with my extended family on my first ever Disney trip in like 2004. Was my first ever Disney trip to Disney World. Anyways, Pop Century has been on my list. I can't wait to go back and like experience it again after having been there, well, almost like 19 years ago, I guess, which is crazy. Anyways, I'm looking forward to like reliving the memories of being there. Okay, it's getting a little chattier than I thought, but I'm just gonna keep going with it. And the reason that I chose to stay on Disney property, there's obviously like unlimited amount of options for where to stay when you're in the Walt Disney World area, but it is that like feeling of the Disney World bubble, as they call it. But there is some actual like legitimate benefits for staying on property. There's early theme park entry every single morning to whatever park you have a reservation for 30 minutes before park opening. Dining reservations can be made 60 days prior to your trip, which they can for everyone. But the benefit with on-resort guests is that if you have like a 7-day trip, on the 60 days from the first day of your trip, you can book all 7 days dining reservations if you want to on that first day 60 days prior, up to 10 days. You get to book your individual lightning lanes with Genie on Genie Plus at 7 a.m. whereas off-property guests are booking at 9 a.m. So there's just a chance of not being able to get them at 9 a.m. They might all be gone by then. And the transportation. So lots of other off-property resorts will offer shuttles, but in our experience and from what I hear from a lot of other people is, while there are shuttles, they're not quite as convenient and as consistent when you're on property. So that to me is another benefit. I'm pretty excited to be a part of the Disney theming and in that Disney bubble. Okay, so your flight is booked, your package is booked, you've got your tickets. Maybe back up one step. Before you actually book your trip, you should go on and check that there are park reservations for the time that you want to be at Disney. You do have to make a park reservation to get into the park that you want to do when you're at Walt Disney World. So I had obviously already checked all that, and then like the minute that you got booked and got confirmed, you can go ahead and make those reservations. I created an itinerary for us for our trip based again on the crowd calendar from Undercover Tourist, and I just went through and I looked at what days they were like forecasting to be lower crowd rates, and I went ahead and like plunked in my park days based on that crowd calendar. Just to go through it quickly, we're going to arrive in Orlando on a Friday afternoon. We'll go to our resort, do some swimming. We're staying at Port Orleans French Quarter, so we'll have some Mickey beignets, and then you can take a boat over to Disney Springs actually, which is like the dining and shopping area. You don't need a pass to get there. Saturday will be our first park day, and we went to Animal Kingdom. That was their recommended park for the day. It said crowds are still going to be a 6 out of 10, but it is a Saturday, so I think that will be manageable. The next day is Sunday, and we'll get to do our Magic Kingdom day on Sunday. That again is a 6 out of 10, but it is the recommended park still for Sunday. Monday we're going to have like a bit of a rest morning around the resort, and then we actually check out and we'll move to the other resort. And then I booked us in for Hollywood Studios that day, which we will just take the Skyliner over and just do like an afternoon at Hollywood Studios. And then we're on Tuesday, so I booked another day at Hollywood Studios, and again it was the recommended park for the day. So Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday were all a 5 out of 10 for busyness. Wednesday we booked Epcot, and Thursday we'll be leaving Disney, but I did book us into Magic Kingdom. We'll probably just do the morning. I have a brunch reservation, and then we will be leaving Disney, but I just wanted that little bit extra time in Magic Kingdom because it's magical. So if you're still with me, we have booked our flights, booked our hotel, booked our reservations for the parks, and next thing that you should do when you're planning your Walt Disney World vacation is make sure you download the My Disney Experience app. This app will have everything you need basically to get you through your trip. It is so exciting, like to look through the map, watch the wait times in the days or weeks leading up to your trip. Yeah, you book your dining through there, you can do your reservations through there too for the parks, and it just has everything you need and is lots of fun to play around in and get familiar with before your trip, especially with the My Genie and My Genie Plus, which I'm not going to talk about in this video, but I have done so much research and I feel like I am pretty well versed in Genie Plus and the individual lightning lanes. So I am going to be utilizing those different amounts in different parks probably during our trip. So stay tuned if you're excited for that. Give this video a like, comment down below if you want to learn all the strategies that I've spent so much time trying to figure out. And yeah, that all happens through the My Disney Experience app. So get that downloaded onto all of the devices that you're going to have with you. And then make your ADRs or advanced dining reservations. So obviously I booked like less than a month out, so I missed the 60-day window. I am pretty persistent, and I just went in, and like people's plans change all the time, and it's really common for people to like double book or triple book even reservations just because they're not exactly sure what they want 60 days out, and as they get closer to their trip they start to cancel. So there's always like, don't feel hopeless if you miss that 60 days, except for like maybe a few of the really big hitters. There's a really good chance that you'll get the dining you want if you're just a little bit persistent. So go ahead and like use the app to look through the restaurants. You can look at all the menus, you can make your reservations. And then a tip that I've been using is to use mousewatchers.com. They set up alerts for you, so you go on and you pay like $5 to $7 US depending on how many notifications you want, and you put in the restaurant, the time you want to eat, and they will email and or text you. But the thing is, you have to be on it. Like when you get that text or email, within 1 minute those reservations are probably gone. So just keep in mind, if you're going to pay for it, you have to be prepared to like be on top of it. And yeah, that's what I would say are your next steps to do. Okay, just a couple of quick notes about some magical extras. So Walt Disney World has magic bands and magic band pluses, which are like little watch or like wristbands, I guess, that you wear, but they like open hotel rooms, they get you into the park, they get you on rides if you book lightning lanes, and you can like load your credit card or gift cards onto it. You can pay for items. So I ordered one for myself that's going to be delivered to the resort. Travis has a Apple Watch, and so you can also do the same things with the Apple Watch. I think you just have to have, I don't know really how Apple Watches work, but I think if you have the My Disney Experience app, then you can just do it all through the Apple Watch. So he's going to try that out. And second thing is a bit of a frustration point for me, but really not that big of a deal. But I did go ahead and purchase the memory maker, which means like throughout all the parks there's PhotoPass photographers, which I just have always loved them. But like, especially when Teddy and I went to Disneyland last year and it was just her and I, we used so many PhotoPass photographers and we had so many great pictures because of it. in Disneyland, it's a part of Genie Plus. So if you buy Genie Plus for that day, you get all the photos from the PhotoPass photographers and the rides for, well, with your purchase. Whereas in Disney World, they aren't doing that yet. So I paid $169 US to have it for our whole trip, which, like, yes, is a lot of money, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's like a photographer's session that you were going to do to get family photos. And so for me, it's like worth it. However, Disney World just announced that starting March 20th, so like 10 days after our trip, it will be free with your Genie Plus purchase. So that's really exciting for anyone going to Disney World in the future. Okay, just a few other little bits and bobs of information that I've had to do some digging on that I think will be helpful. So although our rooms are just typical hotel rooms, they don't have like kitchen suites or anything, I am going to get a grocery delivery to our room just so we have like snacks, and there is a fridge, so we'll have like lots of food we can take into the park, which is allowed. So I downloaded the Instacart app, and from there you can pick like wherever, like many places that you want to get your order from. I have been adding, over like the last couple of weeks, I've been adding stuff to a cart from Target. So I'm going to get that delivered like at about the same time that we arrive at the resort. And how that works is you just get your delivery to Bell Services in your resort. That's just going to be so handy. We'll be able to pick that up when we check in. Okay, and the last thing is how we're actually getting to Disney from the airport. So there used to be the Magical Express, which was a free transportation from MCO Orlando to Disney World if you're a resort guest, but they no longer do that. So the company that took that over is Mears Connect. I went with a different company called Sunshine Flyer. No real reason, I just chose them. It is, I think, their 1-year anniversary, so they're doing $12 trips. Again, I didn't even compare it to Mears Connect. I just chose Sunshine Flyer, and I picked it $12 for each adult to go Teddy's free. And the thing with a shuttle bus, like, it's a huge bus and they might wait a while to fill it, so it could be like you could have to wait like 10 or 15 minutes for the bus to get there, and maybe another 10 or 15 minutes for it to get close to full before they leave. But like, I think, you know, waiting around for 20 or 30 minutes probably isn't that big a deal, and we're gonna try it anyways. So that is how we are getting to the resort. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up a big chunk of our Disney trip planning. Again, I know this video might be really bizarre to some of you, but if you are a Disney World fanatic or know someone that's planning to go to Disney World, I hope this video can be really helpful. I know after I was in Disneyland last year, I had a few people reach out with some questions about Disneyland, which I love so much. I just love Disney, or I love travel in general, but anything that I can do to help make someone feel more confident or excited about an upcoming trip, I just would really love to be able to do that. So you can comment on this video. Come follow me on Instagram. So on Instagram, I'm still Becky Burton. I'll link it down below. I'm definitely going to do some stories and reels. If you have specific questions, I was thinking maybe of doing like some short reels that would help address little things, as well as putting the information in my longer vlogs from the trip. So I don't know if you're at all excited about this, and I hope you are. Just comment and like and subscribe to my channel. I can't believe I'm going back to Walt Disney World. I'm so excited, and I'm really happy to be able to take you along with me. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in Disney World.